Our Fellows program was created with the intention of helping nonprofits create and build sustainable data and CQI practices. Our amazing fellows have been doing just that over the past 10 weeks. I'm excited for you to hear from them directly about why they decided to embark on this journey, what they've learned so far in this program, and how they want to continue this work moving forward.
Hello, my name is Dr. Jessica Faith Carter, and I am the founder and executive director of the Parent-Teacher Collaborative. I joined this program because I really wanted to increase the work that we were doing with data as we were looking to grow our organization. As a new nonprofit, we felt that it would be valuable to work on our logic models, to work on our continuous quality improvement plan, as well as figure out ways so that we can visualize data to show our impact. Since being part of this program, I've had the opportunity to draft a full logic model, which I recently shared with our board of directors, and they loved it. I've also had a lot of time and just space coming here almost every Friday to learn alongside my peers and really dedicate time to data. Looking ahead, my hope is to continue to take these practices that I've learned over the last few weeks and really leverage data more to show the impact of the Parent-Teacher Collaborative. We will be seeking out additional training, we'll be going to some conferences, and we'll also still be holding time for data practices. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Emily Kramer. I'm with DePelchin Children's Center. The reason that we applied to be part of the fellowship was because we're entering a period of growth, especially around data and analytics. We want to make sure that what we are doing now is something we can carry forward into the future. So what we wanted to focus on really with this is documentation of our practices for the future. So we were really focused on things like developing data dictionaries and then formalizing a lot of our data analysis processes and procedures. It's very important to us because as we grow, we might spread out from a centralized unit across the agency, and we want to carry that forward. We also wanted to focus on data visualization. A lot of us are really skilled in that area, but not everyone has had that opportunity yet to build those skills. We want to make sure that whatever we're doing is at a high level of sophistication so that we're able to effectively communicate with all of our audiences. Something that we've already gotten out of the fellowship is that my colleague and I who are participating are on different teams. And what she's taken away so far for her as actionable items is that she is updating all of the process manuals for the program that she works with. For myself, what I've started doing is formalizing our data dictionaries as I go. So as I work with a new data set, I'm making sure to document things like what all the variables need and mean and all of the metadata that goes along with it, as well as like making sure I have citations for everything if it's external. We've both been focusing on these tasks because they're immediately things that we can do, and we're hoping that we can carry this forward. In terms of something else we've gotten out of the fellowship is that we've really enjoyed participating with other agencies because they bring a lot to the table in terms of skills and ideas and experiences that we ourselves don't have. So we are able to take that information back and really use it creatively as we develop our own processes. Something I personally was hoping to gain out of this is just really documentation. And I've said that a lot because that's what was really important to me since we are experiencing growth. So I know that already we've started doing it, but what we're really hoping to do is use this as a catalyst for these conversations around data and analytics at our agency, and hopefully including things like data governance committees and things like that that are very formalized. And we hope that this builds some sustainability into our efforts so that even after, say, my coworker and I move to different positions, that this is already something that we can carry forward. And I think we've been able to do this with the support of the United Way, already helping us get this ball rolling.
Hi, my name is Brandon Bell. I am the general manager of DACAMERA. We are a chamber music and jazz presenter here in Houston. We've been so excited to be part of this cohort. We collect a lot of data at DACAMERA for our patrons, from the students with whom we work in the schools and in the community. I feel like we haven't really fully realized how to utilize that data. So we're kind of sitting on a lot of content that we need to kind of codify and tell our story. So that's something that we've been really looking into over the past couple of months through this program. We have a lot of ideas as to how to kind of move forward with this data. There's a lot of excitement in the office, and we've been talking to board members as well. And I think we're going to be moving in a really positive direction as to kind of how to further tell our story through data.
Hi, I'm Madison, Grants Manager for Mental Health America of Greater Houston. Our organization joined United Way's Coffee and Quality Fellowship Program because we wanted to grow in 3 key areas: developing a comprehensive evaluation and continuous quality improvement plan, documenting our data analysis procedures, and refining how we measure outputs, outcomes, and targets. And while we've only been in the program for about 5 weeks, it's already prompted deeper conversations within our leadership team about the importance of best data practices. We're seeing increased engagement across staff and leadership as we focus on how to effectively use data to show our impact. And while we haven't implemented specific changes just yet, these conversations are the critical first steps in ensuring our data is used meaningfully to inform decisions and improve our programs. In the future, we hope to solidify these conversations into actionable changes. We aim to improve data literacy across all staff, implement more accessible data visualization tools, and build out a strong CQI process that will help us continuously assess and improve our program's impact on the Houston community. We are so incredibly grateful to Jessica and Ashley and the entire United Way Coffee and Quality Fellowship Program for their education and their support. Their guidance is providing us with the tools and the knowledge we need to achieve our data aspirations and ensure that our programs remain impactful and sustainable. We're so excited to be part of this program, and we look forward to the continued growth and improvement it will bring to Mental Health America of Greater Houston.
Hi, my name is Fatima Raza. I'm with the American Leadership Forum, and part of our desire to join the Coffee and Quality Fellowship was really a part of how much growth we've seen in the past 2 years, and wanting to take a step back and begin focusing on the technical side of it, looking at our evaluation processes and making sure that we're growing in the right direction. The fellowship has been super helpful in being able to inventory what data practices we have in existence and where we might have gaps and we need to focus our attention. And so it's been really, really helpful in digging through and finding our logic models and theory of change and realizing they need to be updated based on the growth we've seen. And so it's been really fun to kind of apply all that learning in the mental struggle of trying to piece together everything that we're doing right now into a more cohesive theory of change. And I think that's going to be really helpful for us in forward thinking and planning for what our data strategy needs to be based on the theory of change we've come up with and the impact that it points to. Do we have evidence for that impact? And if not, how can we design evaluation practices to make sure that we're capturing that for our audiences?
Hi, my name is Coretta Brown, and I am the founder and executive director of Bridges to Empowerment. When we came into the cohort, we had 3 goals. We wanted to be able to understand our data. We wanted to know how to determine our goals and outcomes, and we wanted to be able to have measurements that would tell a story of success. What we have gotten so far, we have completed our logic model, we have a theory of change, our youth advocate has completed all of the pivot teachable classes and is now ready to move our data program to the next level. What we hope to continue to get is the resources for our youth to where she will be able to use our information and create a end of the year analysis that we will provide to our grant funders so that they can know that they made a good investment.
Hi, my name is Zainab Khan. I'm with Dara Sakina, a nonprofit that serves families with disabilities. And today I'm going to be talking about how my organization has benefited from the Fellows Program. So our organization has benefited because not only has it been able to teach us how to look at our data in a new way, but also strategize as to what data is actually important to collect and what data is really important to communicate to our funders and also to our families. So through this program, we've been able to develop a CQI plan. And through that plan, we're identifying key components that are going to help us improve our programming, help us improve our volunteer retention, and also help us improve the way that we talk to donors and help them understand the importance of our work. So as an organization, we have had rapid growth and we have a lot of data, but we've been a little confused as to what to do with it. So we're really excited to be a part of this cohort and this program and see where our data takes us.
My name is Janice Juarez, and I am the Chief Clinical Officer at Family Service Center. The reason why we joined the Fellows Program was to grow, expand, and also be able to connect with other organizations and to be able to develop a data plan. As we've grown here and the learning that we've done, we've been able to accomplish a lot of things, even if they've been small steps, such as implementing new data and also being able to grow together as a leadership group and being able to communicate all that information that we've learned to other key people in our organizations and also our stakeholders that we've had. So one of the things that I know Jade and I have been able to grow in is been able to target the audience that we want to tell the story to when it comes to our data plan. So I know we've done CQI planning, communication, and then data strategy. So one of the things that we want to implement in our future is being able to grow in our EMR system and being able to connect the encounters, our sessions that we do with our clients, show the progress, being able to communicate that with our board, with our other grants, but also back to our therapists and the clients that we serve in the organization. We've gained a lot of knowledge in this program, and we hope to continue growing in it as well.
Hi, I'm Rachel Brownlee. I'm with Houston Revision. And the reason we joined the Coffee and Quality Forum was to work more on our data. We love data, and we have been very focused on going very deeply into our own data and have created a whole data system, but there were nuances we wanted to work with. And a lot of that came around with like the data dictionary, being able to define things and explaining to others what the data meant, communicating internally and externally about what we were trying to do, being able to show all the impact that we're having out in the community. What we have gotten from this so far is finding that there are a lot of other organizations out there kind of in the same situation that we are. Another really cool thing that has happened is that we are starting to build some collaborations with some of the other people who are in the forum with us. And at least one of them is probably going to result in some programming kind of sharing in the arts realm for our youth, which is very exciting. Going forward, looking into the future, looking at strengthening some of the areas that we're realizing that we need to have strengthened, whether it's, like I said, the data dictionary, figuring out kind of some policies and procedures around data, building in some more tangible pieces about the ethical use of data, so that the people who are coming after us have kind of a roadmap of what we're trying to do.
Hi, I'm Vicki Giambra, and I'm with the Houston Immigration Legal Services Collaborative. We wanted to join the fellowship because our nonprofit doesn't really have, we don't do direct services, so it was kind of hard for us to get data. And, beyond kind of the funder deliverables and things like that, it kind of also became an afterthought for us as to kind of what kind of data do we want to show above and beyond that. And so I think the things that we've learned, one of the things I've learned for sure is that, institutional knowledge can always be a problem in nonprofits with turnover and things like that. And having kind of data policies and having kind of the data dictionary and all these different things could be really helpful for that and kind of make onboarding new people a lot easier, and just you don't lose that institutional knowledge. And I think going forward, there's so many things we want to do, but definitely putting in place, these policies, making sure that we think about it before we start a project, like think about everything that we want to capture. What story do we want to tell? So yeah, it's been a really good experience.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Burrell, and I'm with Young Women's Preparatory Network. I'm so excited to be a part of this fellows program. When I heard about it, I knew that this was something that we needed as an organization, simply because we really needed to refine not only how we shared our story and the impact of our work here in the Houston area, but also what we did with the data that we got in. Data seems to be a dirty word in some organizations, and I figured that this would be a great way to make it, I guess, clean and fun and approachable for some of my my data-weary people. And so coming here, I've realized that it's not necessarily what we're doing with the data, but it was just our mindset about it, and how we're approaching just collecting it, how we were sharing that process, but also making sure that everyone was on the same page so that we had the same value to what we were doing with that. And so moving forward, we're looking at ways to not only use our historical information in the data that we collect, but to better refine those processes for our real-time data, so that as we're looking to improve what we do, as we're looking to expand our impact and do more for girls and women in this area, we're doing it from a real-time perspective as opposed to what has happened for us in the past. So I'm just really grateful for this. I am an unapologetic data nerd. So this is like my thing. And now I'm going to have acolytes in the network with me. And we're going to do some really great work. So thank y'all so much.